Rolling?
No, yeah, we are rolling.
We're rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling. We've been rolling.
We're rolling the whole time since I've been talking?
No, like just fucking like a minute. Okay, so this segment, quickly explain it to you. Intense reacts to Late Night Punjabi jams. YouTube series where artists react to iconic Punjabi videos, songs, cultural moments that left a long-lasting impact.
Okay.
June 25th, 2022, Toronto, Scotiabank Arena. Diljit brings you out to perform Umbrella.
I remember the end of this, I'm like, what the hell do I do here? Because he starts singing Umbrella, starts singing Baba Ve Kalam. I'm like, this was like one of the really, like a super cool moment in my life. It was the first time I've actually like been in front of that many people. I was like, Diljit, man, bring me out in Vancouver. And he didn't kind of bring me out in Vancouver. And I was a little bit like, what the hell? He's like, what the hell? He's like, come out with me in Toronto. So I went down to Toronto, he brought me out. And yeah, man, that was a cool experience. Dope experience.
One thing I want to ask you, when I posted this video, someone commented, this is producer appreciation done right. What does producer appreciation look like to you?
Yeah, this is definitely producer appreciation done right.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, before like Moonchild and Umbrella and these songs, Diljit wasn't doing arena shows or stadiums or anything. So, you know, I feel like I was a big part of like shaping his new sound and the new direction and kind of bringing in the new generation in, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, and he appreciates that. So like, yeah, this is definitely an awesome way to show producer appreciation.
For sure.
Yeah, I was a little bit jealous about not being at any of these shows because they look like so much fun. But yo, like, rest in peace to my brother Sidhu Moosewala, you know? Like, this guy just loved singing oldies, goldies, you know what I mean? He would do that all the time when we were in the studio. He would probably, and like a lot of those viral clips, you see like the Challa one, that was in our studio. The Mirza one, that was in our studio. And like he would just be like a little karaoke machine. He used to love doing this all the time. Yeah, man, this is dope. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, for real. You've seen Sidhu from the studio to the spotlight. Do moments like this remind you of who he was like behind the music?
Yeah, this is just what he used to love doing, you know? Like he was a fan of music in general, right? Especially the oldies and like the classics.
Yeah.
And yo, like there's only so many people who could really re-sing this kind of stuff and do like justice. Anything he sung, it sounded dope, you know?
Exactly. Where were you when you first heard about his death?
I'll never forget this day, bro. I was on the way to Mexico. I was flying to Mexico with my family, and we had a layover in Calgary. And I remember we were sitting at the restaurant at the airport. And I look at my phone and I see like Sidhu Moosewala shot, but I didn't think it was real. I thought, you know, it was like one of those like, you know, those like satire pages, you know. And then all of a sudden, there's this video circulating around of him, and I like saw that and like I was just like, I went white, I went pale. I didn't even know what to say or do. Like my family just sitting there looking at me like, what's wrong? I'm like, yo, this is not even believable. Like it's still unbelievable to me.
Straight up.
Yeah, man, it was one of the most unfortunate scenarios in my life and unfortunate scenarios for the whole industry, I think.
For sure.
But he's been immortalized because of it. So rest in peace to a brother.
Exactly. One last thing about Sidhu. It's very simple. If you had to describe him, describe what he meant to Punjabi music in one word, what would it be?
Damn. Be hard to describe that in one word, I feel like. I think the best word is just he was a legend, bro. He was a legend. He was the biggest legend of our industry. He still is. Now I can't say was, because he still makes more impact than most artists, pretty much any artist nowadays. You know, he drops an EP, he doesn't have to do anything. They don't have to do nothing, they drop a song and it's the most viral thing that's out there. His music's so impactful and, you know, so important to so many people's lives. Yeah, man. I don't know. There's so many things I could say about him. But
I think you described it perfectly, yeah.
Yeah, legend.
That's good.
He was a legend. He was the top of our food chain.
For sure. Feel free to say no. I talked to Arvin about it quickly. Can you give the audience a quick snippet of the album?
Like right now?
Yeah, right now.
Like how are we gonna do it?
Like however you want to do it, off your phone, anything. Do you have
really,
it on you?
I don't mind doing it, but it's not really an effective way of doing it.
Like what?
Like if I'm gonna give you the sound, you wanna hear the sound on like.
That's what we can get a speaker.
Sure.
What do you think? You don't have
Okay, no, I'm down. I don't give a shit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sure, a speaker?
The album's coming in a week. I'll pay his album after. Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's what I mean. It's not the same on the phone. You gotta hear that shit fucking like stadium sound.
That's fucking sound crazy, yo.
So fire.
Crazy, yeah.
Yo, Bindrakhia is like one of my favorite artists of all time. You know what's really cool about this clip? Like you see some shares I'm doing in the back,
Yeah.
and like he's just like kind of like soaking it in, and like you know when he drops the hook, you just see that smile on his
That
face.
grin, yo.
It's like I wrote that shit.
Exactly.
Dude, like no auto-tune, no nothing. He sounds exactly the same on the record as he does in the clip. You know what I mean? It's very rare to see artists like that nowadays. And yeah, legend.
Was there a moment in your career where you felt like you were making music that would have made the OGs proud
Hell yeah.
all the time?
When I did the album 124, you know, it was like kind of like my homage to like the legends, you know. I was trying to find a Bindrakhia vocal, but I couldn't find a Bindrakhia vocal. Otherwise, I was trying to get one for that album. Like we had like Dilshad Akhtar and Kuldeep Manik, and you know, yeah, like at the end of the day, it's like, of course, we're making modern style Bhangra and Punjabi music, but that's kind of the direction that everybody's going. And like, you know, I had like a moment with Mulkeet Singh like about a year ago where he came to the studio and did some music with it. And I'm like, I pulled up a clip of me from my like when I was born, and like we're playing Hai Jamal Lo at the party. I'm like, who would have thought that when I was born, now I'm sitting here with you 30 something plus years later, and I'm making music with you, right? So it's like, yeah, it's dope, man. And yeah, they respect it for sure. So yeah, it's cool.
If somebody like Surjit Bindrakhia was around nowadays, what do you think he would say about Punjabi music, like the state of Punjabi music right now?
I don't know, to be
You think
honest
he'd be
with
proud?
you. He would, for sure. I think like the fact that we're culture is now, right? Like you know, most of these artists would understand and see like where it is. Like we're viewed on a global stage. You guys look at, like I said, look at Diljit. Diljit Dosanjh is doing stadiums, arenas, Jimmy Kimmel, Met Gala, etc., etc. When we're finally being taken serious on a Western level, and our culture is being pushed forward in the right way. We're not just Bollywood song and dance, because that's what most people have always thought, you know, when it comes to the American side of the world, that when you go there, there's like, oh, India is just Bollywood. There's like freaking 18 different dialects in India, more than that probably, and so many different cultures. You go from northern India to southern India, it's like 2 different countries, you know? Exactly. So yeah, and Punjabi music is predominantly the biggest over here in the West Coast, in the West. So yeah, I think definitely they would be pumped up.
For sure.
He would be pumped up for sure.
Like even when Diljit's performing in wherever Raj Arena BC plays, he's performing Chamkila songs. He's still paying tribute to it.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, Karnaja's doing Tera Yaar Bolda, you know,
exactly,
like,
right?
Hell yeah, like it's paying homage to the legends, right?
For sure.
I wish Surjit Bindrakhia was alive, you know. I would have loved to have worked with him. I've done stuff with his son, Gitaz.
Yeah.
You know, and like we've done some pretty fun stuff too, where we've sure. remakes and stuff like that. So yeah.
If there was one old artist you had, like you got the chance to produce an album for, would it be him?
Yeah, Surjit Bindrakhia. Hands down.
Yeah.
100%.
That was dope.
Like the you know, like watching this clip, there's like there's no effort in the vocal, you know what I mean? Yeah. Doesn't miss a no, nothing. Exactly. And just a smile on his face too, you know?
Straight up. No, I love that clip.
Yeah, so good.
I want to say congrats on Double Up. I don't think I got a chance to say that.
Thank you.
But everything you're doing with that, what's the vision for the brand and the label in like, let's say 3 to 5 years?
You know, like I said, it's gonna be the same thing. We're here to just nurture the next generation of talent, right? Like, you know, these first group of artists, like, you know, Harjot, Harpreet, Tavnoor, Blizzy, JJ, Manna, everybody that's been a part of it, like now it's like, yo, they're doing their thing, you know, everybody's kind of found their like footing, or they're like building their foot up, you know what I mean? But like, I got my new album coming out, and you know what's the dope thing about my album is that I wouldn't have been able to make this album without my Double Up team. You know, Manna wrote half the album. Harjot helped vocal a lot of the tracks that I need to make dummies for, and like we composed that stuff. And it was like kind of like one of those things I wanted to showcase that, look, people don't really give new artists the opportunity because they're new. But look, I was able to go and take those same songs that I probably would have done with Harjot and do with a bigger artist. It's exactly the same thing, you know? So like, just giving that credit, you know?
For sure.
Harpreet wrote a Diljit record, you know, Harpreet Saran. Here's the crazy thing about that, she is the first female to write a song for Diljit. So think about that.
And that's on the upcoming album?
That's on the album.
Okay, before you even say anything about that,
who is that?
Huh?
Who is that?
It's just somebody I found on TikTok. But the reason I showed you this is very specific, actually. When I was doing a little bit of research on you, you said in an article back in the day, I'm not sure when it was, but you said, I'm trying to make music for the generation that grew up embarrassed to represent Punjabi culture. Shutting off the music at the red light, I need to change that whole stigma. Do you think that's changed?
Oh, that's definitely changed. This is a whole different scenario though. This guy do not give a fuck. I thought these guys were gonna drive. I guess there's so much traffic.
Yeah,
it'd been awesome. They just drove off on him and left him there. You're still playing the Bhangra, right?
Exactly.
No, but like this is hilarious, right? This is buddy's probably had a few drinks. He's really good at Bhangra, you know.
Oh, for sure.
His moves are on point. But yeah, like that was a thing, you know, growing up. Punjabi music wasn't cool. It didn't look cool. The music sounded cool, but like, you know, I would say the production value and how things looked, it wasn't relatable to the younger generation. Now it is. I think the one thing that for the next generation that they really need to implement in the scenario, which is happening, I'm seeing a lot more, is collaboration. You know, you don't get anywhere with just me. Just me. You know, that's how we've always been as Punjabis, not just in music, but just in general. Everybody wants to be on top of the next guy. you got to collaborate, you got to do things together, and you know that kind of unity is what's going to go and boost us up, and at the end of the day, as a collective, go showcase the world where we are, who we are.
Bro, I love Benny X beat.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a crazy thing.
he makes such a unique beats. Those are like, it almost feel like it's out of this world.
100%.
So for me, it was just like, it's like honored to be part of something so unique and different. And I know it's an experimental record and it's not for everybody and whatnot. Like, you know, pata hi hai, no? Like, you know, recycle music goes further, right? So like, if you keep recycling music, it just goes further.
Oh man. So funny thing about this, I was in bed, waking up in the morning, and I see that AP's live, which, you know, doesn't happen very often. And, you know, obviously, you know, I'm in bed and I go on there and I'm like, I quickly say, hey, he's like, come on live. I'm like, shit. So I quickly threw on a hat, quickly threw on a shirt, and I ran outside my house. But my house has this like park that I go for a walk and all the time. So yeah. And yeah, he just started going ham. But yeah, we're talking about this is the OK record.
Yeah.
Like, dude, a lot of people don't like the record. I love the record. I think it was so ahead of his time. That's one thing about AP, that he's always pushed the envelope. Like I said, even with Excuses, you know, that was a record that they weren't the biggest fans of, but they trusted my vision and we pushed it. And from there, I think, you know, he really realized that, yo, you gotta experiment and do different things to really go and get people's attention. You know, you either like the record or you hate the record, doesn't matter, but it was different. So, yeah.
Would you see a collab, like a producer collab like that, AP and Benny X? Do you feel like the producer world of like mainstream English music is finally opening up to Punjabi culture?
Hell yeah, it was like one of the coolest things I've ever seen, you know? Right. Benny X is doing Drake and, you know, freaking Yeet and all these guys. Like, he's tapped in, he's one of the biggest producers right now. And AP collaborating with them, like, it boosts our image and boosts our culture to the next level in the Western world. So, hell yeah, we need more of them.
Exactly. Is there one music producer that the audience should keep an eye on, English or Punjabi?
I keep on a lot of producers.
Go on.
At the end of the day, the Punjabi side, I just like to see the Punjabi producers like doing new stuff. You know what I mean? Pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to do things. You know, don't follow trends. But like at the end of the day, like when it comes to like on the Western side of the world, like I look at so many different producers and like what they're doing. Like obviously, like I'm a big fan right now. Metro Boomin pushes the envelope. You know, he's not just like a trap producer. Excuse me. But like I look at guys like Max Martin. I don't know how many people know who Max Martin is. Max Martin's like one of the craziest producers in the music industry. He's made everybody from the Backstreet Boys to NSYNC, Britney Spears, all the way to Ariana Grande and The Weeknd. You know, Blinding Lights is the biggest record on Spotify, and who's that done by? It's Max Martin. So, yeah.
You and EP clearly have chemistry. How has that working relationship evolved since you guys like first linked up? From like Toxic, Excuses to like Sweet Flower, for example.
Well, like I said, like, you know, going from Excuses and Toxic and those records, it was like, you know, they were a little bit different than what they were normally doing. Like they were doing, you know, like Majal was the last record they had dropped before I did Excuses. And that was, I think, their kind of like their movement towards the pop side of things and more, you know, upbeat stuff. Because other than that, we had Drop Top and like Deadly and those kind of records. And the working relationship now is that, yo, he's just always looking to do something new, something fresh. And so, yeah, whenever we hook up and do some music, we always try to do something different. So, yeah.
Makes sense. It's always fire. So you can talk as much about the album you want. One thing I really want to ask you though, is this the tone that we can expect for the entire thing, or is it going to be different track by track?
Yo, it's different.
Different?
Like there's like certain portions of the album, it merges together, but it's so different at the same time. There's a little bit of something for everyone, I feel like. I really wish we shot a music video for this song, but you know, Diljit Dosanjh is a very busy guy shooting movies all the time, so. yo, like this was like I think the perfect way to introduce the album. It's strong, it's effective, it's hard hitting, but like yeah, like the rest of the album is just insane.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah, you guys hear it, you're gonna be like, yeah, we get it.
How long has this been in like, the process?
Like so, like the two Diljit records were the first records I had for my album. I had done these about 20. We did it during when we were making Ghost. So I took the Ruthless and I took Chobbar, and for my project, and then from there, that's when I decided like, hey, I think I gotta obviously I'm starting off with a couple big gems here. Let's build an album. The last album I was gonna do was called Banger Season. We dropped Dabdeni and then we dropped Excuses. And then Excuses, I was like, I listened to the rest of the album. I'm like, this is the best song. I'm like, there's not really a point in dropping this album. I'm not saying this isn't the best song, but I feel like the whole project as a whole is really, really cool and really different and will be really effective. Also, shout out to all the artists that came a part of it. They're all big artists, from Gigi to Jordan Sandhu, Jussi Gill, Gurnazar, right? Amrit Aman, Jasmine. Me and Jasmine have been working together for how long? Jasleen Royal, like the Jasleen Royal song, like people are gonna be like shocked when they hear that one because she's she's predominantly Bollywood, right?
Yeah.
It's not a Bollywood record, so that's gonna be really fun and really cool. It's been one of those things. When you guys hear it, then you'll understand what I'm saying. Yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
All right, cool.